Hey, I'm Jessica, and welcome to your reality check. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode where I check off your list with Love Island episodes 4 and 5. Okay, now this is exactly what we have all been waiting for, at least what I've been waiting for. I mean, I know we're only in episode 4 and 5, but things are picking up, and I think if you listen to the last episode 2 and 3 of my recap, I said that I was bored and I was like, this may be a hot take and I get it. It's episodes 2 and 3, literally it just started. But I was just like, there needs to be a change up. Something needs to happen. There needs to be new bombshells. We need some new blood in the villa. And men, did they ever deliver? I thought episode 4 was so good. There was so much happening in this episode. There was just so much to unpack, from the 2 bombshells coming in the challenge, the 2 girls, to Huda telling Jeremiah that she's a mom, to Bella doing literally what I don't think any of us thought she was going to do in that challenge, to Bella kissing all of the guys in the challenge. Oh my gosh, I thought episode 4 was so good. And then obviously in episode 5, we have our first recoupling. So there is a lot to get to, and I'm very, very excited to just chat through it all. So let's start in episode 4. And honestly, let's start with the couple that I am really getting annoyed with. And I think everyone else is annoyed with them, and that's Huda and Jeremiah. We ended off on a cliffhanger in the 3rd episode of her telling him that she's a mom. And the reaction in the last episode, I kind of thought that maybe it was an editing trick, and maybe it was just showing him rocking back and forth and just looking at her and saying, "You're a mom." But then actually in this episode, he would turn around and be like, "Wow, that's amazing. That's great. Tell me more. What's her name?" All this stuff. We got none of that. He didn't ask her a single question about her daughter. Nothing. He didn't ask her name. He didn't ask how old she was. He didn't say, "Wow, that's amazing. That must be difficult doing this. And, do you co-parent?" All that stuff. Like, he said nothing. He was just so concerned about his feelings in that moment. He was like, "You're a mom and you're 24. How many kids do you have?" And then Huda's like, "Can you look at me?" And he's like, "I can't look at you. This is a bomb." And he's just huffing and he's puffing and he's just constantly saying, "Damn, damn, damn, damn." And he just doesn't ask her anything. And to me, if I was Huda, that is such a major red flag. This guy is a major red flag. He's a walking red flag. There's so many red flags that we've seen from him. And if Huda takes anything from this relationship or anything from this conversation, wouldn't it be, he didn't ask me anything about my daughter? And she hasn't said that. Like, Huda hasn't acknowledged the fact that Jeremiah has shown zero interest in her daughter, getting to know about her, anything. Yet, I know I'm jumping ahead, but like at one point, they're talking about their wedding and what they're going to eat at their wedding or something like that. And I'm just like, you don't even know this girl's daughter's name. You probably don't even know her last name. Like, there's just so many things that are just so bizarre to me about this conversation. And it's honestly upsetting, because I get it that he could be blindsided and he could feel blindsided to be like, "I've known you for 72 hours and you have yet to tell me that you're a mom." I get that. And I get that he could feel blindsided. But also, at the same time, in that moment, if you truly do really like Huda, then you would be genuinely interested to know more about her daughter, her life, what their life outside of the villa looks like. he literally does not care at all. And it's just so clear as day that he has no, my Italians listening, you will know this word. He has no voglia towards Huda. And what that means, voglia, what that means is he has no care. Not a care in the world at all. And the fact that Huda didn't clock and Huda didn't recognize the fact that, and maybe she does, but she just genuinely doesn't care because she's just so into Jeremiah for whatever reason. I don't know. This couple is just exhausting to watch, and they are going to crash and burn. It's only a matter of time. Whether it's him and Casa Amor doing God knows what, whether it's before Casa Amor, they are going to crash and burn. I can see it coming from a mile away. Jeremiah was more concerned about the fact of, oh, can I tell anyone? Does anyone know? Like, he was more concerned about that, and I don't know, maybe talking about it to someone, and she was like, no, like, I want to wait to tell the guys when I'm ready and this and that. And here's the other thing, I'm just like, but why? I don't understand why Huda is holding her being a mom so close to her chest. I don't even know if I see her side of things where she's just like, I want to take my time in telling the guy that I'm talking to because I want to make sure that he likes me. Like, I think that reasoning is really off. I don't understand that. But I also just don't understand, like, why can't the other guys in the villa know? It just doesn't make any sense to me. She's also holding it tight to her chest with the girls. I don't understand. Does she feel a certain type of way about being a mom and maybe how they would perceive her? Is it something that maybe she isn't 100% comfortable for whatever reason? I have no idea. It's just, I feel like moms or dads in general, if they're a proud mom and a proud dad, and I'm not saying that she's not, but if you are a proud mom, then you would want that out there. You would want to show people how proud of a mom you are, right? You would want to say it to talk about your daughter, talk about how it is being a mom, talking about your experiences. That is such a big part of your life. I don't understand why she's hiding it from everyone. I'm genuinely very confused. I also just thought it was very, telling. It was telling. It was telling to me. It was telling to the audience. I don't know if it was telling to Huda. But Jeremiah, he goes, she's like, is this a deal breaker for you? How do you feel about this? And he's like, I can tell you for right now, I like you a lot. But for right now, just now though, I don't know in 2 weeks from now, I don't know in 5 days from now, I might say something different. I might change my tune. But Huda, for right now, I like you a lot. Huh? And then he goes on to ask her, how do you feel? So he's putting it back on her. She's the one asking him the question. He gives like a half-assed answer saying, I can tell you for right now, as of right this second, I feel good and I like you a lot. AKA, not into it, going to change my mind the second someone else pulls me for a chat that I am interested in, a bombshell, whoever it is. This guy is not interested in Huda at all. The other thing about Jeremiah that also really rubbed me the wrong way. It really rubbed me the wrong way. And this showed his true cards. It showed exactly where his head is at. It is showing where his mind is at. And that is when, in the conversation with Huda, there's so many bombs being dropped in this conversation, honestly. It was really telling. And, it's telling too because they're talking about real life things, right? They're talking about real life things. It's not just, oh, the challenge was fun and oh, la-di-da. Like, they're talking about real life things. And all of these things are coming to light during this very telling conversation. But he said to Huda in the conversation, hypothetically, if we do the whole thing and win this thing, I'm going to say that again. He said, hypothetically, if we do the whole thing and we win this thing, win. The fact that he is thinking about winning this show is insane. You shouldn't be coming on Love Island to win. You shouldn't be coming on Love Island to win the money. You also shouldn't be coming on Love Island to go viral, to gain a following, because I think what all of these contestants are doing, a majority of them at least, is they see how successful the show was and how much the cast, majority of them, blew up and got all these insane opportunities. And so they're kind of just like, how can I replicate that too? And so now the fact that this guy is literally alluding, not even alluding, he's saying it verbatim, if we win the whole thing, it's showing that that's where his mind is at. He doesn't care about leaving with Huda and life outside of the villa. He just cares about winning the whole thing with her. Potentially, not even her. Who knows who he wants to win with. The funny thing, though, Jeremiah, is in order to win the show, you got to be likable. You cannot win unless the world, the people voting, don't like you. So I'm going to break it to you, but you are not winning. And it's just like this guy is only concerned about winning the money. And I bet you, listen, this is never going to happen. Jeremiah is never making it to the end. But I bet you he would take all of the money. He would. I don't think we've ever seen that on Love Island US. I don't think we've ever seen that. I really haven't watched the UK versions. I don't know if that's ever happened, if someone took all of the money. I feel like maybe it has, but I really don't know. But I bet you, if this guy made it to the end, which is, there's not a chance that's happening, he would take all of the money. And I bet you that's exactly where his mind is at and why he is putting in these little tidbits into Huda. Oh, if we win and make it to the end and da-da-da. Because then she's like, oh, I want to stay coupled up with him because his mind is that he wants to leave with me and all this stuff. Listen, guys, you got to be likable. And I'm going to be honest, you're probably next to go. If there is a vote that is going to happen for the public to be the people that have a hand at who stays or who goes, I'm telling you, you're gone. So it was such a telling conversation. He literally outed himself. I knew from the beginning there was something about this man, this little glimmer in his eye that wasn't a positive glimmer. There was just something about him. There's the possessiveness. There's the fact that now he is outing himself that he wants to win. There's just the fact that he doesn't care that Huda isn't mom and he doesn't even care to know about her daughter. Like, there is just so many red flags. And the fact that Huda isn't even paying attention to one of these red flags is beyond me. I feel like her head is in the clouds. I don't even know where her head is at. I am genuinely so confused about Huda and how she thinks she is in a solid relationship. She's constantly talking about the fact that, oh, we're mom and dad and this and that. I'm like, girl, the only people that are calling you mom and dad is yourself. No one is calling you mom and dad. And then I'm like, you're the one that is actually a mom. Other people in the villa don't know you're a mom. And you're hiding it from the other people in the villa. But you're calling yourself mom and dad? Literally make it make sense. Please, someone, make it make sense. Because I'm genuinely confused. Genuinely confused. This girl, I'm sorry, but she's so unlikable. And in the beginning, I was like, yeah, okay, cute. You know, I haven't really seen much of her. She seems okay, but man, oh man. Episode 4, and no. I'm sorry. Her and Jeremiah have to go. Okay. Hot take though. Because they are causing so much drama. Do we want them to stay? Even for a little bit? Because can you imagine if they do stay coupled up and they end up at Casa Amor, he goes off, I'm telling you, he would not stay faithful in Casa Amor. The drama. So I'm kind of like, okay, you guys are exhausting and I want you gone. But then on the other side, I'm kind of like, that would be very great television. I feel like I'm in the middle. I haven't really decided yet. I have to watch a few more episodes, but this couple is so toxic and I don't understand how she isn't seeing any of these signs, any of these red flags. None of the girls are saying it too. I mean, Olandria to me is such a real one. At one point she was like, this is not a good relationship. This is toxic. But if this is what she wants, then I'm going to support her. And you know what, Olandria? I'm really taking a liking to you. I really am. And I know you can say, well, wouldn't a good friend tell your friend the truth and tell them the honest, brutal truth? Yes, I guess in a way. But also, too, Olandria has known Huda for like less than a week. 3, 4, 5 days at this point. So at the same time, who is it to Olandria to literally say to Huda, oh, you don't see any of these red flags? I feel like at that point, it's a little early. I get it if they're a month in. That, to me, is totally different. But she doesn't know Olandria, or she doesn't know Huda. So, to me, I agree with her. You got to figure it out on your own, for right now, at least. We can maybe casually say to you, oh, I don't know, that doesn't seem right. But Olandria, knowing her for a few days, she's not just going to be like, I don't think this is a good idea. I don't think you should be with her. Right? Oh, what about during the conversation where Jeremiah said to Huda, I like liking you? What does that even mean? I've never heard that ever. I like liking you. I've heard it all. I've heard it all. Like on The Bachelor, it's like, I'm falling for you. I'm falling for you. I've never heard I like liking you. That's a new one. Again, to me, red flag. Because you're not saying, I like you. You're not looking at someone in the eye being like, I like you. I genuinely like spending time with you. I want to see where this goes. He's not saying that. He's saying, I like liking you. Like, that's not even a sentence. So for him, he's like, this doesn't even mean anything, so I'm just going to throw it out there. This guy is finding every single loophole in the book to try and make it seem like he likes her, but he has literally no interest. Honestly, mark my words, this guy does not like her at all. At all. And then Huda, after she tells him that she's a mom, she's in a confessional just saying, I can only hope that this makes him like me more. But haven't you not heard this whole conversation that you're having? What part of Jeremiah in this conversation do you get the vibe of, oh, he definitely likes me more? It's just giving Delulu. It really, really is. Lastly, to top it all off, after Huda says to Jeremiah, you know, I really don't want you telling anyone. Well, even Jeremiah actually asked Huda. He said, can I tell anyone? Does anyone know? And she's like, no, I'd rather tell people on my own. So she didn't say to Jeremiah, oh, the girls know. She said, no, I would like to tell everyone on my own. Cut to Jeremiah in the bedroom, and he's sitting on the bed, and Bella's in the next bed beside him. And he looks at Bella and he goes, she's a mom. Jeremiah, what part of don't tell anyone don't you understand? And the crazy thing is Bella knew, Beldasha knew. And he obviously didn't know that Beldasha knew. So he told Baldasha, not respecting what Huda said to him, told her that. Baldasha knew. Didn't really react in a certain type of way. It's just like, oh, she told you? Well, I guess that kind of alludes to the fact that she did know. But Jeremiah, like, so bad, so disrespectful. I felt so bad. Even though she didn't know, it's just like, she told you not to say anything. And then what if Baldasha went back to Huda and was like, oh, he told me that you told him? Well, then he just blew his whole thing up. He just blew the fact that he told Baldasha right after she said not to. So it's just like, she literally told you not to say anything to anyone. Again, if there weren't 5 million red flags, here's 5,000,001, because this guy is just not great. He is not great. He hasn't done anything right. He is just not, he's not boyfriend material. He's just F-boy, player vibes. And he wants to win. And I'm sorry. We don't like that. The public doesn't like that. We want to see genuine people. We want to see genuine connections. We want to see people there for the experience, not there to try and win. That's not the point of Love Island. People are going to catch it from a mile away. I sure have. And you got to go. And so I'm sorry. When there's a vote and the public gets to vote, we're going to try and vote you out. Moving on. This challenge was so good. I was so entertained with this challenge. I thought it was so well done. It was all about getting to fourth base. So it was like a baseball type of thing. And the girls had to choose one guy to go on each base, first, second, third, and fourth. And obviously, each base, the closer you got to home base, the more into, I guess, that person you would be, right? Someone at first base is lowest on your list. I mean, someone that's not even on the bases is not even a thought. And that was Jeremy for everyone except Huda, because no one chose Jeremy, which I thought was absolutely hilarious. The real MVP, though, of this game, absolutely, without a doubt, goes to Baldasha. Because I was like, okay, how is she going to approach this challenge? I honestly didn't know. I didn't know what way she was going to go. But I kept saying in the previous episodes, she needs to step it up. She's on Love Island and she cannot be there to just kiss guys on the cheek. That's just not the show. If everyone was doing that, we just weren't going to have a show. So I was like, Baldasha's got to step it up. And boy, did she ever. She came out of left field, literally. I was so entertained. She kissed every single guy on every single base. And it's not about the kissing. And honestly, what I think Baldasha should have done is I think she should have not kissed any of the guys until she got to fourth base with Nick. Because then it would have been a surprise for Nick. Oh my gosh, if she got to fourth base and she kissed him, she would have been in shock, right? And the fact that it was so entertaining though. She was going from base to base to base, and it was a Baldasha that we had never seen. And I do think, this is what I think, is producers got to her and said, you need to participate. You are on Love Island. It's not Christian Island. You gotta participate and be in the experience and partake in the experience to the fullest. Because to me, how does she go from kissing guys on the cheek and not even want to get near them, not even want to kiss Nick? Because up until episode 4, she never kissed Nick, and she only had a liking to Nick. So how does she go from that to then in this challenge kissing every single guy and just she just acted so differently. No, I'm not saying in a negative way, but we didn't see her like that. I don't even think we thought Beldasha had that in her to do. And so for me, it definitely was giving. Producers had to talk with her, whatever it was, which is fine, and I think if that's what needed to happen in order for her to kind of like come out of her shell, then that's fine, because honestly, she was giving in this episode. I was here for her, and I really wasn't sure about her, especially in episode 2 and 3. I was like, if she doesn't step it up, she's gonna go because we're bored. But then now in episode 4, I'm obsessed with her. I loved her in episode 4. I thought she was amazing. And again, it's just all about being in on the experience, just putting your whole self, your whole everything into this experience and not holding back. And I think when people do hold back, when people do lie, when people aren't honest, 100% honest, when people have ulterior motives, not only do the people in the villa feel that, but we feel that at home. And so then it's hard for us to be connected with you, because if you're not putting your all into this experience, then how can we as a viewer want to buy into your experience? And I feel like in the first few episodes, that's what Beldasha was giving, because she was just there. And now in the 4th episode, I'm here for it. I loved it. I thought it was so good. She did it. I was like, where is Bella? Everyone is just going crazy. I thought everyone's reactions were absolutely hilarious. I was so thoroughly entertained. Everyone's like, oh, my baby's grown up. I'm so proud of her. I just thought it was so hilarious. And, Bella's like, I feel so empowered, and I'm proud of you, Bella. I'm happy for you. I loved it. I really, really did. 2 new bombshells entered the challenge, and those bombshells are Amaya and Hannah. And essentially the tea, obviously, is that they had to choose a lineup of guys each, put them on the respective bases, go around and do whatever they want to do. And obviously, we knew one of the girls was going to put Jeremiah on home base. Like, that was a given. That was going to happen. That was obviously producer manipulated. Whether or not Amaya really did want him to be at 4th base is left to be known. But let's be real. That was a producer thing, and it's fine. I mean, it's here for the plot. It's here for the drama. Huda, like we saw, Huda. She is just... I talked about Jeremiah being possessive in the last few episodes. Huda's equally as bad. She is just... I'm like, you've known the guy for 72 hours. Literally. And it's a game. And I think, too, a part of the Love Island experience is like, that you're going to have these challenges, these games. You just have to own that. You just have to accept it and move on. And if you feel 100% secure in your relationship, with clearly she does not. I mean, why would she? Like, they're a hot mess. If you were secure, you would just laugh it off. You would laugh it off. Maybe you turn away like, oh, that's hard for me to look at. But you know that it's the challenge. And you know that that's Love Island. And she is just so possessive over him. It's like another girl can't even look at him. And so when Amaya kissed Jeremiah at the home base, Jeremiah didn't even move a muscle. This guy just stood there. He didn't move. He didn't flinch. He was just moving his mouth. Talk about so awkward. So awkward. And I just think, Huda, this is the 4th episode. You've been there for 4 days now, not even a week. And I'm sorry, but even if you are so into Jeremiah, even if you're so into him, he should be exploring other things. You should want him to be exploring other things, so that in a few weeks from now, after Casa Amor, he comes back to you and says, I did what I needed to do. I explored, but you're the one for me on this island because I explored. That is what should happen. And for me, I just feel like they are trying to be that OG couple that every season typically has. They're trying so hard. And I feel like Jeremiah doesn't even like her. That's what's so bizarre. It's not like you have two people that are genuinely so into each other. Like a Kaylor and an Aaron, even though that ended like a disaster. You knew that they were into each other. We bought the fact that they were into each other. At least in the first 2 weeks, let's say. I don't even buy the fact that Jeremiah is into her. And I think Huda is, I don't know if Huda's told him she loves him. Remember when she's like, love you, bye? You don't say that to someone that you just met. She doesn't love him. But I do think she thinks that she loves him. Like, I actually do think that. So this whole thing with Huda and Amaya, and Huda calling Amaya a B word multiple times, and just talking so negatively about Amaya because she chose to kiss Jeremiah in the end, chose to put him on home base. Like, come on. You're on the show. You just have to understand that it is what it is. That's the nature of the show. And her coming for Amaya, it absolutely did not need to happen. It was just way too much. She's being way too possessive. And she really just needs to tone it down. She needs to stop being so over the top with all of her reactions. And I just feel like she's trying to like make good TV. I feel like she's just trying to weaponize being a mom to her advantage. I feel like she changes her mind every 2 seconds. Like when she said to Cierra after the challenge, I'm going to tell you because after this challenge, we're sisters now. And she told her that she's a mom. And it's like, are you guys sisters because she didn't pull Jeremiah to play in the game, to be on a base? Is that why you're sisters? Because that's exactly what she meant. She's like, we're sisters basically because you didn't choose Jeremiah. And now I can trust you. I know you're not going to go for my man. So now we're sisters and now I can tell you that I'm a mom. I don't know. There's just so many things. I've been talking for almost 40 minutes just about Jeremiah and Huda in episode 4 because there is so much to unpack with these two. They are just giving toxic behavior. There are so many red flags. They are truly the drama of the season right now. That's for sure. Overall, do I think it's going to last? Absolutely not. And I think Huda needs to tone it down. I think Jeremiah needs to step aside and just couple up with someone else. But can you imagine if he just couples up with someone else? The reaction, though, from Huda, oh my gosh, he needs to watch when he goes to bed at night because, oh my gosh, he can sleep with his eyes open if that happens. But, I mean, you never know. We never know what's going to happen. That would be absolutely crazy. Let's talk about Bella and Nick for a sec. Before I get into them, for all my people listening from Toronto, does Bella not have a Toronto men's accent? Oh my gosh, I find it so hilarious. And it's so weird because it comes in phases. She doesn't have this Toronto accent all the time. Sometimes she talks normal. But then other times, this like Toronto accent comes out. And I'm just like, where is this coming from? Are you sure you're from Hawaii? And it's not just me saying that. There's so many people online saying that she literally sounds like a Toronto man's. I think she's maybe just trying too hard. And I think she's maybe just trying to give herself a certain identity. And she's just trying to do too much. And I feel like the Toronto accent comes out where she's really just trying to prove a point, where she's really just so passionate about what she's saying. I also feel like this girl says a TikTok word every other word that she says. I think the one thing with Baldasha is I don't think there's a lot of depth to her. I'm not seeing a lot of depth. And when she's talking with Nick, it's very surface level. And I think like he said, like, what do you do for fun or something like that? And her answer was just, oh, I like going to the beach and the water's like Gatorade blue. It's beautiful. And like his face was kind of just like, what are you saying? I don't know. Just, I feel like there's just not a lot of depth there. And, we obviously know what happens in episode 5, which that's kind of why I think what happened in episode 5 happened with Nick not choosing Baldasha, because I do think he saw that there wasn't a lot of depth. And Nick is a smart guy. He's a nurse. He's a smart guy. So that's kind of my thoughts on that. But I think with Nick, just saying that, it's 60-40, it's 70-30, it's 50-50, like, just get on with it. Just choose. And I hate when people, you know how so many people hate when people rate people? Like, oh, she's an 8 out of 10. Oh, she's a 5 out of 10. To me, him being like, oh, I'm feeling 70% for Cierra and 30% for Bella. Oh, now it's 50-50. To me, that's the same thing. I don't know. When you put a number, a percentage, something beside how you feel about someone, to me, that gives me the ick. So I didn't love that. I really didn't. He tells Bella, though, in Soul Ties that he feels like he's closer to making a decision, which to me also is why Bella probably felt blindsided, because he made out with her in Soul Ties. They kissed. He's telling her that he feels like he's close to coming to a decision. To me, he wouldn't have said that if he knew he was not going to pick Baldasha. If he knew he was going to pick Baldasha, then he would say, oh, I am close to my decision. And in his mind, it's because, oh, I'm choosing you. So why would he say to Baldasha, I'm close to my decision, when the next day he didn't choose her? So yeah, of course she's going to feel blindsided, right? And yeah, I just think Baldasha, my opinion completely changed about her in this episode. I was so here for her, and I loved her. I really did. And it's sad. I mean, I'm just jumping ahead, but we've all watched the show. I think it's sad that Baldasha leaves, because I think there was so much opportunity, honestly, for her. I think just seeing her after episode 4. But again, I kind of just go back and forth, because I also just don't think there was a lot of depth. So I think, to me, I was like, she was gone too soon. For an OG, she was gone too soon. And will she be brought back? Maybe. Maybe. They brought Bergie back, and he made it to the end. Well, they're still together. Her name's Taylor, right? Yeah, Burley and Taylor. They're still together. So maybe she'll come back. Maybe she'll come back at Casa Amor. That could be cool too. But also too, would that work? Because if it's same guys, then are they going to go for Baldasha? Maybe, if Nick is still there. I don't know. So I wouldn't be opposed to seeing her come back. I know, like I said, I'm jumping ahead, but I was sad to see her leave. I really, really was. I was really enjoying her in episode 4. I was really here for her. At the end of the episode, Nick and Cierra go into the photo booth. And honestly, the one thing I just want to say about this is I just got the vibe that she was throwing herself on him. Like, I got the vibe that she knew that maybe something happened between him and Baldasha in Soul Ties. And so she needed to just end the night off with, don't forget about me. Don't forget about me. I'm going to give you something so that you don't forget. And she just threw herself on him. And I just thought she was kind of trying too hard. Honestly, I really did. I think too, do we think that she maybe wanted those photo booth photos, like the proofs, to end up somewhere so that Baldasha sees it and then sees like, oh my gosh, you're kissing in the photo booth? Who knows? Because the photo booth, like, let's say that Jeremiah and Amaya, I'm just going to make that up, go into the photo booth, knowing that Jeremiah and Huda are coupled up, exclusive, but not. They say they're not exclusive, but meanwhile, she's crying when she sees Amaya with him. Anyways, let's say they go into the photo booth. Oh, let's just take some photos. Fun, whatever. They go into the photo booth. Things get steamy. Kiss, kiss, kiss. Camera, camera, camera. Flash, flash, flash. Okay? Catch my drift. See what I'm saying? Then she keeps those photos as blackmail or whatever to blindside Huda or blindside Jeremiah. Puts the photos on the bed. Just casual leaves the photo somewhere for her to stumble upon. Huda finds the photo, goes to Jeremiah, WTF. See what I'm saying? So I feel like the photo booth, yes, it's fun, it's a photo booth, but I feel like there are messy aspects to the photo booth that you could potentially use it to, which could be very dramatic and great TV. Now let's get into episode 5. And honestly, in episode 5, obviously we got a recoupling, and that is like the majority of the episode. That is really the main thing that I do want to discuss. There are a few things, though, before we get to that I wanted to just talk about really briefly. In the beginning of the episode, Amaya goes up to Huda and tells her that she is not interested in Jeremiah and, he's all yours because Jeremiah told Amaya that he's closed off. And then we see Huda, oh my gosh, like, yay, that's amazing. Thank you. Hugging. And I'm just like, girl, you were literally telling this girl 0.2 seconds ago, or telling people that she's a B word multiple times. You're giving her cut eye. You're giving her side eye. You wanted nothing to do with her. And now you're like, oh my gosh, besties, because your mans wouldn't talk to her. It's really annoying because, Huda, you've known this guy for 0.2 seconds. You do not own him. He is allowed to talk to anyone that he wants. And Amaya is allowed to talk to anyone that she wants. You are on Love Island. You're also not in week 5. You're not at the end of the season. You are not even a week in. Give it a break. Give it a break. You're doing the most. You are too much, and it's because of your actions that is making you extremely unlikable. Very unlikable, and that's going to get you out of the villa very, very, very soon. I thought Austin and Amaya were weird. I just thought their interaction and their meditation thing that they did was super weird. Like, Amaya and Austin were jumping around, like getting the jitters out. I don't know. It was so weird to me. And I literally wrote down, she's 100% getting to know him so that she can stay in the villa. Because I'm just like, I don't see it. There's no way. It was so weird. Their dynamic, it was a weird vibe. And I don't know. It's so awkward. It truly is awkward. They're just giggling like little kids. And I wasn't buying any of it. None of it. I don't buy that there's a romantic connection. I don't buy that there's an emotional connection. I just think maybe you're keeping each other close because if something doesn't work out, and I mean, she doesn't have anyone right now, right? Like, she's not coupled up with anyone. So maybe for her, she's like counting down her numbers. Oh gosh, I need to make some connections, even if they're fake, with other people because there might be a recoupling coming up. And yeah, it was that night. So I think people are covering their bases in the event that there is a recoupling. And to me, that's exactly what this was. I wasn't buying it at all. It was super awkward to me. And I don't see it. Hannah and Charlie, I know, have a thing going on, but I don't really have a lot to say about them. I really don't. And I think too, because they're not the OG people, neither of them are OGs. They both are bombshells. So I'm not really invested in them. I can't get invested in them. And I don't really care. Is that bad? I don't really care. I think Charlie is a good guy. He actually seems probably like the best guy on the show, just from like a good person type of point of view. But I don't know. I don't really have an opinion on them. I am like, okay, cool. You like each other. That's great. But I think it's honestly because of the fact that they're just not the OG couples. Before I get into the recoupling, the last couple that I do want to talk about is Olandria and Taylor. First of all, I love Olandria very, very much. I didn't really have an opinion on her in the first few episodes, but now I think she's fantastic. I think she is a real one. She tells it like it is. She is so honest with people, and I love that. And I think she deserves a man that wants to be with her as much as she wants to be with him. And Taylor isn't giving that at all. And I think it's a slow burn between the two that they keep saying. But I also just think that if something's there, then it's undeniable. And I think if you have to constantly say the fact that, oh, it's a slow burn, and oh, it'll come, and oh, this, whatever, hopefully it'll get there, it's not going to. It's not going to, because if it's not there from day one, then it's never going to get there. It's different if like couples have been with each other for 10 years or 20 years, whatever it is, and then that flame kind of dies down. To me, that's different, because if you had a flame in the beginning when you first started dating, there's a way to reignite that flame, right? And if you both work hard at it, you can reignite it. But I think if there's no flame at day one, then there's never going to be a flame. And I think that's what we're getting with this couple. And I think Olandria really wants it to work with Taylor. I don't know if Taylor really wants it to work with Olandria. I think Taylor is kind of just staying with her right now because, he needs to stay in a couple in order to stay on the show. That, to me, is the vibe that I'm getting. I think Olandria deserves a really everyone obviously deserves a good person, but I think Olandria really does. I really do. I think she is such a good girl. She is just so beautiful. Gorgeous, gorgeous girl. Her body is insane. Like, she looks so good. Like a goddess. And I don't use that word, but to me, that's kind of what she is. She's like a goddess. She's beautiful. She really deserves a good guy. I love watching her. I love hearing her opinions, her perspectives, because it's just real. And that, again, it goes back to the audience isn't going to resonate with you if you're not real. And we are all really loving Olandria because she is real and she is giving us realness. And I hope that there's some bombshells that come our way for Olandria because she really does deserve it. She really, really does. All right, so let's get into the recoupling. So the guys choose, which, I called that one from a mile away, to be honest, because that is where the drama would happen, right? If the girls choose, it wouldn't be as dramatic. But with the guys, there's Nick that's quote undecided. He's choosing between Beldasha and Cierra. So definitely and also too, there was a few more bombshells that came in from the girls. So to me, it just made sense that the guys would choose. So the first to go up was Jeremiah, and obviously he chooses Huda. Could you imagine if he didn't? That would be crazy. But I think the one thing that just really stood out is when Huda was like, he doesn't control me as a woman. And I'm like, but he's so possessive. He's so possessive. Are you not seeing what we're all seeing? He is controlling you. Oh, I don't understand. I'm just like, this couple is such a walking red flag. Taylor obviously couples up with Olandria. Charlie and Hannah, no surprise there. Okay, this one shocked me. This one really shocked me. Ace coupling up with Amaya. I was shocked. I thought for sure he was going to couple up with Chelley. And I don't understand why. I don't understand why he didn't couple up with Chelley. Why did he couple up with Amaya? He had like 2 conversations with her. The only thing I can think is maybe Ace is playing the game and is playing the game of, I'm going to explore my options with all different people so that at the end of this season, I can go back to Chelley and we have this incredible story of we explored all of our options with all these people. We knew each other from before this show, but somehow we came back at the end and found each other, and now we're coupled up, and then we win. Like, maybe that's where he's going. I don't know, because there's no reason why he wouldn't pick Chelley. There's no reason at all. I don't understand. Like, Austin went after him. If Austin picked Chelley, okay, I get it. Then pick Amaya. But Ace having the option with Chelley there, the fact that he picked her, I was shocked. I don't understand. I want to know, was Chelley blindsided? Was Chelley expecting Ace to choose her? Did they have a conversation about it? Did she get a vibe that she wasn't going to be chosen? Did she get a vibe that she was going to be chosen? We don't know. Shocking. And I don't understand. I don't understand what his intention was. I don't know what he was trying to do. But it was so weird to me. I don't get it. So you know what, Ace? If you see Chelley making out with Austin, if you see Chelley getting to know other guys, you cannot tell her otherwise. You need to let her explore that. And I think he probably is. I don't see Ace being the jealous type at all. But if he did get jealous, then I'd be like, remember when you had the opportunity to couple up with her? Then what? That's all your fault. Bizarre. It was so weird to me. So obviously then, no surprise, Austin chose Chelley. And I wanted to pay attention to how Ariana acknowledged him and how she interacted with him at the recoupling. And she was very stone-faced with him. Austin, who would you like to couple up with? Like, with everyone, she would ask them questions. She would have a different tone with them, a different demeanor. She was very stone-faced with him, very different vibe, and I caught that. I don't know if anyone did. I haven't seen it online, anyone talking about it, but I was trying to pay attention to it, and I definitely caught a vibe. The moment we have all been waiting for. The last moment we were all been waiting for. Nick finally chose who he wanted to couple up with. And at this point, I was feeling like he was going to couple up with Cierra. And it was for the reason that I just felt like there was no depth to what him and Beldasha had. And I also just think physically and maybe even emotionally, maybe him and Cierra were already ahead versus him and Beldasha. I just think I was surprised that Beldasha was gone because Beldasha's an OG and I feel like it was just so early on for an OG to leave. But he chooses Cierra and he basically spilled the beans on who he was going to choose before saying her name. He alluded to the fact that the moment we shared in the photo booth was unforgettable. And so Beldasha's probably like, well, I wasn't in no photo booth with you. So it just gave it away for the audience. And there wasn't that like big boom, that big bomb that dropped of him saying Cierra's name, which I kind of missed. I wish there was a big bomb that dropped of him saying her name versus him just saying about the photo shoot, because we all knew they were in the photo booth the day before, or I guess the episode before. I thought the way that Beldasha left the villa was so classy. She left with her head held high and she said to Nick, "It's not my loss. It's not my loss." And I loved it. I think she was true to herself. And I think I can't fault that about her, right? Like she came in with, I don't know what the word is. Is morals the word? I don't know. But she came in with an agenda basically saying, I don't kiss guys on the first date. She didn't kiss any of the guys. She let it all loose in the challenge. And I think she stayed true to herself. I really did. And I respect that about her. I thought she was fantastic in episode 4. I was really liking her in this episode too. So I would love if they brought her back. But also if they didn't, I think I'd be okay with it. So overall, this season is really, really picking up. I am so excited about where it's heading. I think Huda and Jeremiah are so toxic. I think things are just going to blow up between the two. I really do. And I cannot wait to see what happens next between them. I think Ace needs to figure his stuff out, because I think he really dropped the ball not choosing Chelley. I really did. And is Chelley turned off by that? I guess maybe we'll see the impact of him not choosing Chelley in the next episode or two. So that's it for this recap. I am loving the season so far. Love Island is exhausting me, but hey, we got a job to do. I will be back before you know it to recap episodes 6 and 7. So that'll do it for me today. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode. Please rate, subscribe, review, do all of the things. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok at yourrealitycheck.pod. And I cannot wait to chat with you in the next episode. Bye.